If your nonprofit keeps trying different fundraising ideas, but nothing seems to work, this video might sting a little bit, but it's probably also going to explain a lot. Here's what this usually looks like. You're running one-off campaigns, sending emails, posting on social media, maybe applying for the occasional grant when you can find the time, but nothing builds. Donors are inconsistent or non-existent. Events take a lot of work for very little return. Grants feel more like a gamble than a plan. And every year when it's time to file your 990, you're still filling the postcard out and wondering when things are going to finally change. That cycle doesn't just limit what your organization can do. It wears you out as a leader. You hesitate to plan ahead, you keep self-funding, and you quietly start questioning how long you can keep operating like this. Now, I've spent over 30 years working directly in fundraising, supporting hundreds of organizations across virtually every sector, raising millions, and I see the same pattern constantly. The organizations that break out of it don't magically find new donors. They fix their system. So by the end of this video, you'll know which of the 4 common fundraising mistakes is keeping your organization stuck and what to focus on instead if you want fundraising to feel more stable and predictable. The first reason most nonprofits stay stuck is simple. They're campaign chasing instead of building a base. So let me explain. Most small nonprofits rely on one-off fundraisers pulled from random advice that they heard or last-minute ideas they thought of. But there's no real warm donor base underneath any of it. So every campaign is like a gamble. Here's the truth. Fundraising only grows when relationships grow first. And when you ask people for support before that trust exists, you don't speed things up, you slow them down. So instead of asking, who can I ask right now? Shift the question to who already has a connection to this work? Not just friends, family, volunteers, or board members, but people and organizations who are already aligned with who you serve, what problems you uniquely solve, and why your success matters to them. So one question I often use is this: who already benefits when your work succeeds? That question surfaces the most aligned prospects from employers, service providers, funders, community organizations, people who have a real reason to care. Then ask the follow-up question: how could I build trust with them before I ask for anything? And that might include a short introduction, an invitation for a tour, or a simple story from your work. And this is exactly why the first step in my program is donor mapping. We don't start with campaigns or asks. We start by identifying a clear universe of aligned prospects, so you're no longer guessing at who to reach out to or starting from zero. Once you know who belongs in your world, fundraising stops feeling random. The second reason many nonprofits stay stuck is that their case for support isn't doing the work that they think it is. Most nonprofits assume that if people care about the mission, they'll figure out why they should give. So their materials focus on passion, information, and good intentions. But donors don't give because they understand everything they do. They give because of the impact and that it's clear and the ask makes sense. There is both an art and a science to your funding request. Good fundraising writing is rooted in donor psychology. People need to quickly understand 3 things: what problem exists, why it matters now, and how their support creates a clear outcome. So here's a quick way to check your own case for funding. If someone asked you, what does my support actually make possible? Could you answer it in 1 or 2 sentences without explaining your entire organization? If the answer is no, your case is probably doing too much work and saying too little. So here's a simple place to start. Strip your message back to the core. One problem that exists that you solve, one outcome that changes because that you exist, and one clear role that the donor plays in making that happen. This is exactly why the second stage of my program, we slow everything down and build a donor-ready case for funding before launching anything. We make sure the message is clear, emotionally grounded, and easy for someone outside of the organization to understand. When the case is right, you're no longer convincing, you're inviting. The third reason nonprofits stay stuck is that they don't usually have a clear campaign plan that fits their reality. Most founders aren't following a plan, they're juggling ideas. A grant here, an event there, a random social media posts and emails, all in between. None of it connects, so nothing compounds. Here's the reframe. Systems create that momentum. So random tactics just create exhaustion. A good fundraising campaign is not about doing more. It's about doing the right thing for the people that you've identified with the message that you've already clarified in the first couple of steps in a way that your organization can actually sustain. So when a campaign doesn't fit your capacity, it either never gets finished or you burn out. When it doesn't fit your audience, you get ignored. So before you launch anything, you need three things aligned: the people you're reaching out to, the message you're sharing, and the time and energy you realistically have to follow through. For my students, we don't invent fundraisers or pile on tactics. We build one clear campaign that's chosen based on their prospects, their case for support, and their actual capacity. Then we map it out step by step, so you're never guessing what comes next. When the plan fits, execution gets easier and funding starts to build instead of stall. The fourth reason so many nonprofits stay stuck is a quiet one. They're doing all of this alone. No sounding board, no roadmap, no one to say, this is the right next step. Don't overthink it. And here's why this matters. Uncertainty kills confidence faster than failure. When you're making every decision in isolation, everything feels risky. You hesitate, you second guess. And fundraising stalls not because you're incapable, but because you're unsupported. So getting help doesn't have to mean hiring an expensive consultant or buying another DIY course you never finished. Sometimes it looks like finding a mentor who's been where you are. Sometimes it's joining a peer group where you can see what's working for others like you. And if nothing like that exists in your area, it can be as simple as starting one, a small circle of nonprofit leaders who meet regularly to share what they're trying and what's working and what's getting in the way. What matters is this: you shouldn't be figuring it out on your own. I see the shift all the time. Leaders who have been stuck for years start moving forward once they have clarity, feedback, and someone with experience helping them decide what to do next. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's this: you don't need more fundraising ideas. You need the right orders. Start by building relationships before you launch anything. Make sure your message is clear before you ask. Choose campaigns that actually fit your donors and don't try to figure it out all on your own. And if you want my help putting it all together, there's a link in the video description. You can book a call. We can see where you're at, see if you're a good fit for the program. And if you're not ready for that, the next video I recommend watching is one on finding donors and building real relationships. It's a great place to start. So thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, drop a comment, and let me know what your fundraising challenges are. And I will see you next week.